The lecture hall fell silent as Professor Williams clicked to the first slide. 23 faces stared at the projection, a grainy photograph of a girl no older than 16, her dark hair framing hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through the decades. The Proxima Colony Massacre, Williams announced, his voice echoing in the sterile chamber. March 15, 2157. Population, 12,847. Survivors, 0. Lieutenant Marcus Rivera shifted uncomfortably in the back row. At 19, he was barely older than the girl in the photograph, yet he'd already seen 3 combat deployments across the outer rim. Still, something about those eyes made his pulse quicken. The perpetrator, Williams continued, was initially dismissed by colonial defense as too young to pose a credible threat. Intelligence reports from that era describe her as a confused child playing with technology beyond her comprehension. The professor clicked to the next slide, technical schematics that made Rivera's head spin. Quantum field generators, neural interface arrays, biomolecular converters. Equipment that required decades of study to even comprehend, let alone weaponize. They called her Kira Volkov, Williams said. Born in the underground labs of Europa Station. Her parents were quantum physicists working on consciousness transfer protocols, technology that could theoretically move human awareness between bodies, between realities, between timelines themselves. A cadet in the front row raised her hand. Sir, the reports say she acted alone. How could one person eliminate an entire colony? Williams smiled grimly. That's exactly what the Colonial Defense Council asked. Right up until the moment Proxima Colony simply ceased to exist. The next slide showed satellite imagery, before and after. Where a thriving settlement had once sprawled across the Red Plains, only a perfect crater remained, its edges so smooth they seemed carved by some impossibly precise instrument. Volkov had discovered something her parents never intended, Williams explained. She learned that consciousness wasn't bound by linear time. By fragmenting her awareness across multiple temporal streams, she could exist in several moments simultaneously, past, present, and potential futures. Rivera felt a chill crawl up his spine. How do you fight someone who knows your every move before you make it? You don't, Williams replied. The massacre wasn't random violence. It was strategic elimination. Every colonist died exactly when and where they needed to, creating a cascade effect that collapsed the settlement's entire timeline. She didn't just kill them, she erased them from ever having existed. The final slide appeared, a still frame from security footage. The same girl, standing in the colony's central plaza as reality rippled around her like heat waves. Her expression was serene, almost peaceful, as 12,000 souls flickered out of existence. The truly terrifying part, Williams continued, is that this was merely her first experiment. Intelligence suggests she viewed Proxima Colony as a test run, a proof of concept for something much larger. Where is she now? Asked another cadet. Williams paused, his finger hovering over the presentation remote. That's the question that keeps the Temporal Security Division awake at night. Someone capable of existing across multiple time streams doesn't simply disappear. She could be anywhere. Anywhen. He clicked once more. The final slide was blank except for a single line of text, current status, unknown. Threat level, absolute. The lesson here, Williams concluded, is never to underestimate capability based on appearance. Age, size, apparent innocence, these mean nothing when dealing with consciousness unbound by conventional physics. Kira Volkov taught us that the most dangerous weapon in the universe isn't a gun or a bomb. Rivera stared at the empty slide, still seeing those hollow eyes in his mind. It's a brilliant mind with nothing left to lose, Williams finished. Class dismissed. As the cadets filed out, none of them noticed the girl sitting in the observation booth above the lecture hall. She looked exactly as she had in the photographs, unchanged by the 70 years that had passed since Proxima Colony. Kira Volkov smiled softly and made a note in her journal, lesson learned. Time to begin Phase 2.